Going on, everyone? Welcome to the first video of this channel. Before we get into it, a little bit about myself. My name's Ben. I'm a Webflow developer, and I wanted to create this channel to connect with other Webflow developers, but to also connect with agency owners that use Webflow to create their clients' websites. But let's get into it. In this video, we're going to be creating a very simple filter. This is going to help us get the fundamentals of how the filter works using Finsweet attributes, and then from there we can apply the same concepts to more complex filters. So this is how it works. We have shapes at the bottom here. This is just a collection list, and the shapes can be sorted into colors and the type of shape they are. So if we just have green selected, it's going to show all the green shapes, including squares and circles. Now if we had blue selected and green, it's going to show all the green and blue shapes, and let's say we just wanted the squares, just show the squares, and if we just wanted the circles, it will show all the circles that apply to these settings. But that's enough talking. You get the point. And yeah, in this video, we're just going to be going over how to actually apply the Finsweet attributes, because I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're stuck in a project and you need to apply the Finsweet attributes, and you don't need a whole long thing of how to do this, how to do that. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this video, how to actually apply the Finsweet attributes. So we're going to make sure our filter selector check over here is set to hidden. I hope you can actually see this, by the way. I think I'm going to start getting a screen recorder where you can actually zoom in. Yeah, but hopefully it works out. Just leave a comment if you have any specific questions. So yeah, that's how it works. I've also, and under the home page, I've just added some code, and this basically makes the opacity of the checkbox components go to 100% when it's selected, and its default when it's not checked is set to 15%. So just leave that code in there so we can actually see that it's checked without the actual checkbox components. But yeah, let's get into it. So like I said before, there's two parts that we need for this. This is our form section with all our checkboxes, and this is our collection list. Now, unfortunately, the filter doesn't actually work if it's not a collection list, so make sure you have a collection that's actually displaying items. The way our one's working is for each item, we have a circle or a square, and then Webflow, if we go over here, Webflow checks. If it's a square, then it displays a square. If shape type is square, it will display square. If shape type is circle, it will display circle. And then we also get the shape type over here, and the shape color, we also get that there. But these over here, these are labels, and for each collection item, you have to have labels that are associated to the checkbox label. So let me just make these visible so we can see properly. So we got the type over here, and if you can see, the type needs to correlate with the type on the checkbox. And we also, for each item, we also have the color, and the color needs to associate to the color checkbox label. That's very important. If we don't have it perfectly correlated like that, the filter function is not going to work. So that's a really important point. Cool. So now let's get into actually adding the filter. So you need to head over to Finsweet filter, just search that. Should be the top link. First step, okay, we need to add in the CDN. So we'll copy the script. This is basically just going to be going into the home page, but really it can go anywhere. It must either go on your page in the head section, or it can go under your project settings. I already got it here, but cool. Paste that in. Step one, done. Step two, we need to go to the collection list and add in this under the settings. So under the attribute part in the settings, we're going to add this as the name. So let's copy that, and the value is going to be list. So like it said, we're going to go to the filter list, which has all our shapes in it. Settings, custom attributes, we're going to add in a new one, paste in the name, and remember the elements was called list. So now that we declared the list that we want filtered, we're going to point Webflow to the actual filter component that we're going to use to filter the list. And we're going to see that's in step 2. So we're going to go copy this, and remember that the value is filters. We're going to head over to our filter component. Under custom attributes, we're going to paste in the name, and we're going to paste in the value, which is filters. Great. So now we declared our filter list and the actual filter component that we're going to use to filter this list. And now I believe there's one more step. Now we need the field identifiers. So remember what I was discussing about earlier, about the labels need to correlate with the actual filter. That's what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to paste in this under the name, and this is going to go for the custom attributes for each label. So I'm going to give this the filter, the name. I'll paste in the name there, and I'm going to give it the value color. And here's where the magic happens. Under this identifier here, I'm going to select, well, it looks like I already did it. But let's take it out because that shouldn't be there. Add in a custom attributes, paste the same as what we did here, and we're going to put the same value because we want these to correlate. So now all of these here, that's weird. Color. Great. So now that the colors correlate, well, we actually need to put it under all of them. So we just did the red. We must do it for the blue as well. Color. Color. Perfect. So let's actually publish this so we can see what we've done so far. Let's wait for that to get there. Perfect. So now we can see that it filters all the colors. And we're going to do the exact same thing now to the shape type, so then it can also filter the shapes. So just like before, we go to custom attributes, type in the name, and we gave the value for the other one color, but this one's not the color, this is the shape type. So we're going to give the value type. And we're going to do that for the circle as well. Put in type. And then for each collection item, we did the color over here for the squares and the circles. And now we're going to do the type for both the squares and the circles. So I already did this before the tutorial, but let's just start again. So the field, and we want to add type. And that's going to be for the squares. Let's do it for the circles as well. Go to this identifier and add in type. So now we can see we got the identifiers labeled over here, and we got the identifiers labeled over here as well. So now when we click it, we're actually going to have it filtered properly for the colors and for the filter type. Sorry, my screen just glitched. So click red, and we just want the red squares. There are none, but we want the circles as well. And we want the blue ones as well. Then it shows. So cool. Let me actually, and what we can do, we can hide this text over here. So like I said before, don't forget this. Every single collection item needs to have some text in it to identify it. So Webflow knows how to link them. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that right. But it's not a problem having it there because we can just hide it. But cool. That's the final product. I know I just went through the Finsweet filters and I didn't actually go about on how to create this function here, but I wanted this tutorial to be just about adding that Finsweet filter. But I hope that was helpful. If it wasn't, please let me know in the comments how I can improve these videos. And also, if you have any ideas on how to actually improve this page I created, how to make it a bit cooler, some more functions to add, also leave a comment, and then maybe I can add you as a guest onto this project if you have any ideas and think you can improve it. But yeah, that concludes this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching it. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Lekker.